Hello everyone, it's Everything BuzzCity here, back again with another video, and today we will be talking about the Detroit Pistons versus the Charlotte Hornets. Now, the first half was very slow for us, and I'm going to pull up the box score for each quarter. So, first quarter we were outscored 32-21. Second quarter, we only outscored them by 4 points, 26-22. So, and in that first quarter, from 10 minutes in the first quarter, so the start of the game, to about more than halfway at the end of the first at 3:30, the Pistons went on an 18-5 run. It was a tough game. This is a tough game. This is a game where I say, hey, our players have to be better. These aren't perfect players. They have to develop. They have to be more consistent. I know these guys have the talent to put up big numbers and to be very good. In particularly, I'm talking about Mark Williams and Nick Richards. This was Jalen Duren and Mark Williams' first matchup as starters. And Jalen Duren absolutely played his ass off. 14 points, 17 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Asar Thompson had 12 rebounds, which is crazy from a small forward. And we just got dominated on the boards. Right? If you go look at the rebounds in this game, we were rebounded by 12. Right? We allowed 12 offensive rebounds and 41 defensive. Right? So those are things that need to be better. But the intensity, the aggression, the physicalness, that's the question about Mark Williams. Can he be aggressive? Can he be physical? Can he box out consistently? There's things that he needs to improve on. He's only in his second year. Right, but he has to show improvement here. And whenever he takes on guys that are around his size, around his weight, around his length, around his athleticism, he tends to struggle. And these are things that he has to get better on. You cannot get in foul trouble. I mean, he had 5 personal fouls, I believe, in the first half. He had 3 in the second quarter. He only played 20 minutes in this game. 3 rebounds, 2 points, and a block. And both of our centers played absolutely awful. Combined, they both had 5. 5 rebounds from our centers just will not cut it. And 3 of those were offensive. So it was just really bad there. And again, I'll say this. Mark Williams has to show improvement, rebounding, and staying aggressive on the defensive end and scoring inside and not letting his man eat up rebounds. He needs to be more aggressive, and I know he could be better. And let me make this clear. Some people might think I'm a little bit hard on LaMelo Ball. Think I'm a little bit hard on Mark Williams. It's because I know the talent that these two have. Even Brandon Miller. I will do the same with Brandon Miller because I know the talent these two have, and I hold them to a different standard. I want Mark Williams to not only be a good starter. I think his ceiling is so much more than that. I want him to be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. I want him to have multiple All-Star appearances. That's the type of player I think he can be. But he has to be consistent in order to do that. We can't have this where we go 13-15, have a great game, play your best game according to Clifford since you've been here, and then have no aggression, have no physicalness. It isn't like you didn't try. I'm not saying these players aren't trying. Of course they're trying, but you got outworked by Duren. You let Duren set the pace of the game. You can't let that happen. So that's enough for Mark Williams and Nick Richards. Both struggled. Nick Richards as well. Just like I said before, his defensive rotations, he allows who he's guarding to get behind him way too much. And yeah, that lets him block shots and stuff like that, but it's not good defense. Right? You have to keep your man in front of you. And those are things that he has struggled with. Especially in this game. I mean, 0 points and 2 rebounds is just insane from the more offensive center. Let's go to LaMelo Ball. Shot 23% from the field. 29-9. Struggled, like I said, didn't shoot well. He's in a little slump, and it's going to take him a little bit of time, especially with him only getting cleared a month ago. So it's going to take time for him, but he's still being able to contribute in other ways in scoring. And what I love, and what I said earlier in the year, If he's able to get to the free throw line, this upgrades what he can do if he's healthy. And he needs to do that. When his shot is not falling, get to the rim. Get to the rim. Even when it is, try to get to the rim. That creates more space for you. Shooting, that creates more opportunities for your other players because it collapses the defense and stuff of that nature. So, it was a rough outing from LaMelo Ball. Cade Cunningham as well struggled. Looking at Cade, 12 and 6 shooting, but he was facilitating. When he was on the court, this team is a very good team, actually. They can win any game that they are in. They almost beat Chicago in their first game. I believe it was Burks who had an awful teardrop layup and basically sealed the game in that first one, but they've looked solid thus far. And we'll get a little bit into some officiating as well. PJ Washington, I want to touch on this. 13, 3 and 3, 2 steals and a block. 6 for 13, 1 for 5 and 3. Like I said, he has Aaron Gordon potential. He is an Aaron Gordon type of player where he can be on a very good team, be your fourth option, third, fourth option, and he can be a starter. He can make a way to be a starter in this league, but playing the way he does thus far in his career and thus far in these first 2 games, I mean, this game was huge for me for understanding, okay, has PJ Washington hit another level? Has he gotten better? Has he become consistent? Because he has offensively more talent than Aaron Gordon. I wouldn't say defensively. I think Aaron Gordon is a great two-way, one of the best two-way power forwards in the game right now. But PJ doesn't have the consistency that Aaron Gordon does. Aaron Gordon, night in and night out what he's going to give the Denver Nuggets. Okay, it's not going to be flashy. He's not going to have a lot of 30, 20-point games. But consistently, he will play well. And PJ has struggled with that in his first, 5 seasons in the NBA thus far. I want to talk about how the refs called this game as well. We had one ref that was from Detroit, Michigan. So I found that very interesting. The inconsistency in this one, and this is the question I have about why are they letting inexperienced referees referee NBA games? Like, come on, man. That should not be the case. But for the Pistons, they were letting them get away with hard fouls, like them playing aggressive, them being physical, which is great. If you want to call that, great. But you have to call it both ways. And the officiating was awful. It was straight awful. There was multiple times where LaMelo Ball got to the rim, and I don't know what it is with refs and him, but they just hate calling fouls for this dude. Like, last year, even, there were multiple points, and there was one game where he got so frustrated he just fouled out because, dude, I'm getting to the cup, I'm getting fouled. Like, the fouls are happening, but they're not getting called. It's really crazy, and he's one of the only players that I can think of that happens, at least for a young point guard in this league. So it's just very weird. I really loved the Isaiah Stewart situation with Brandon Miller and PJ Washington. Good on him at the end of that game, man. Not letting that fly. You are not about to pad your stats. He knew that if he did that, what would happen. He knew exactly. And he still did it. And PJ said, not in my house. PJ Washington, if he can be the enforcer on this team, that's going to be massive. He's shown development in his more like leadership this season. Be more vocal this season, which is great. We need guys like that. You can't have enough of that. You really can't. And but you don't want to have overly ridiculous, like the Detroit Pistons, I think, were talking a little bit crazy. We won 27 games without most of our starters for a good portion of the season. Y'all won 17 games, tied for the worst record. And you all got the 5th pick. So, I don't really understand it. And him getting into Brandon Miller's face, we're going to go into Brandon Miller real quick. But So he got a pass and he got fouled by Stewart and missed it and grabbed the rebound. And then Stewart started acting tough, started acting. I really don't understand. It was a normal play from Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller gave him an awesome face. Like, bro, come on, man. And Jalen Duren's a clown as well. Like, they're both clowns. I mean, Jalen Duren, how are you going to compare yourself to Kobe Bryant? Are you kidding me? You're not Kobe. No. Stop. I'm happy with who we got in that trade. Win some games first, okay? Do something. Do something in the regular season. We've done something, okay? We've went to the play-in 2 times. It's been a struggle recently, but y'all haven't done anything for a very long time since Blake Griffin. Maybe hold up on the smack talking, all right? But Brandon Miller, man, he's making it very hard, making it very tough for me to say he shouldn't be the starter. I mean, he's playing the minutes. I mean, he played 33 minutes in this game. Gordon Hayward played 33. Miller had 17 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block. 6 for 13 from the field, and basically 2 for 3 from 3 because he shot up a full court shot that don't matter. And 3 for 4 from free throws. 3 turnovers as well. Brandon Miller is doing things that I didn't think I would see this early. You know, I thought he would be solid, but the preseason, how he played in the preseason, I was like, okay, it might take a little bit of time for Brandon Miller to find his footing, and which is fine. But by golly, I just did not expect to see the performances that I've seen thus far this season in just 2 games. Very impactful versus the Hawks. Last game was the main reason why we won, you know, hitting those huge threes. Really love what I saw from Brandon in that game. And in this game, you saw things that he and LaMelo Ball can. That's why you drafted him. That's exactly why you drafted him over a 6'2" point guard, is because he complements LaMelo Ball's game. The alley-oops, the passes that LaMelo Ball can give him, the opportunities off the wing that LaMelo Ball can give him. We saw some of that in this game. The alley-oops for him, he's already had 2, and it is insane. The athleticism of this dude, like when he had the poster on Isaiah Stewart, I immediately went back to Indiana Paul George while it was happening. I was like, by God, that man he's going to be good. He's going to be good. I have no questions about Brandon Miller. He's going to be a great player. The question is, how long? How long until you insert him in that starting lineup? Because not only do I think it would help the team, but I also think it would help Brandon. But I also think it would help Gordon Hayward. Because Gordon Hayward's going to be very important for this team. Whether y'all like it or not, he's still a good player. And we saw him with the second unit this game, and it looked very good. He was able to lead that second unit. So I think at some point, very soon rather than later, I predict game 20 at least, and that might even be a little short on the dollar there, because it's game 2, and I don't know how you look at his performances, and you're saying he shouldn't be a starter. His catch and shoot game is absolutely amazing. His shot is beautiful. His attention to detail on defense is what is even more impressive to me. Next game, if you guys haven't been doing it, watch Brandon Miller on the defensive end. Watch his intensity. Watch him always staying eye to eye to his defender off ball. He's always ready. He's always looking. He's ready to rotate. He's impactful on defense. He has the length is crazy and allows him and helps him on defense. So great game from him, man. I can't even talk right now because he played out of his mind for a rookie. And again, I talked about the Scoot thing last game or last video. Scoot Henderson has struggled. Scoot Henderson has absolutely struggled. And at this rate, Charlotte Hornet fan base owes this man an absolute apology. Not just a little apology, because, bro, I've never seen, there's very few moments in a fan base where y'all boo a draft selection. The kid's best moment of his life, and y'all booed him. Y'all booed him because you didn't get a short, athletic point guard. Brandon Miller's just as athletic. Like, I didn't know he was like this. I didn't think he had it like this. I knew he was athletic, but I didn't think it would be hugely impactful because I watched the tape and I was like, okay, he can get up. He can get up a little bit, but he's more of a catch and shoot because that's the system they were running at Alabama. But then I go and I listen to Locked On Hornets. I listen to other people talk about Brandon Miller, and they're telling me, oh, his athleticism isn't going to translate that well to the NBA. Oh, we don't know. He has a higher floor, but not as high of a ceiling. Why? That made absolutely no sense to me. They couldn't really explain it. They're just basically because Scoot Henderson was athletic. I didn't know that's the sport we're playing. I had no idea that this was a long jump. There's a reason why Kai Jones is not on an NBA roster anymore. There's a reason. There's a reason why he's a SoundCloud rapper now. Because it's not a long jump. It takes more to be a great player in the NBA. And Scoot and Brandon are going to be great players. But you can't tell me. Because if you drafted Scoot, imagine how awful right now would be. Oh, God. Oh, my God. And it would have been the fans' fault. And they would have blamed the front office, which is just amazing. Just amazing. But great game from Brandon Miller. Gordon Hayward, again, he's the gluer. Like, he glues everything together. He's very reliable. He had a couple really good drives in this game that I really liked. And he's a plus player when he's on the floor, you know. And Terry Rozier, 20 points in this one, 8 for 20. Got to see a little bit better shooting from him, but he was a major reason why we went on a little run. I believe in the second or third quarter, we went on a 12-0 run. He was huge in that run, but he has to be a little bit more consistent shooting-wise. JT Thor, 1 for 3 from the field. We're going to have to see a little bit more from him in terms of shooting that ball from 3. He missed his only 3-point attempt, so we'll see what he's able to do, though. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Monday night, we will be going live against the Brooklyn Nets, or we'll do a little pre-game or post-game live stream, as I think that's when people start to join more than watching the actual live streams. But anyways, y'all, this was a tough loss. This was a tough loss, but this team needed one like this. They need to find that fire. They need to find that fight, and against the Brooklyn Nets, we're gonna have to bring it. We have to leave right now with a 6-4 record. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to be at least 6-4 coming in. You have to win as many games as you can at the start of this season, because the second half of the schedule is brutal. Absolutely brutal. Anyways, this is everything Buzz City here. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the video with a friend. I believe we're at 80 subscribers, so 20 more, y'all. Let's keep going. Anyways, this is everything Buzz City here. I'm out. Peace, guys.